Hey guys, it's Cash, and today I'm going to talk about former hedge fund manager Jeffrey Epstein and his charges with sex trafficking of minors. So, this is something that dates back to 2008 in Florida. Go figure. So, he had a black book that even surfaced in 2015. So, in 2008, this case that he was pretty much let off easy on a plea deal that he could spend 12 hours a day working at his desk and the rest being under surveillance. So the lawyer that got him that deal is in a little bit of hot water now, and of course is nowhere to be found. He doesn't want anything to do with this case. So that goes back to the pyramid. So here we are in 2019. Epstein has all these allegations against him from girls that were minors at the time that are saying that Epstein forced them to have sexual relations with high-profile officials and even people from the royal family, Prince Andrew. So there's that London connection again. The disturbing, well, not disturbing because it doesn't surprise me at all, is Epstein would have these girls have sex with these men, and then he would just want to know things about what happened. He would tell the girls, like, tell me everything that happened, so he would have something on these men. And that's really how this business works for girls and for clients. You have power-hungry people out there, low lives. Just because they have money doesn't make somebody a quality human being. That they entrap girls with, maybe recording something and holding that power over them. Maybe, we're going to release it to the public if you leave. That's something that is a common practice of these people. And then clients, these are obviously very high profile people, elected officials, princes from the royal family. This can be used as blackmail against people to get political outcomes, to get outcomes of things and steer things in directions that maybe Epstein or somebody else wants things to go. So blackmail is huge in this business, and it seems like this is something that Epstein did with this situation. So this is extremely high level stuff, and there's most likely going to be more people exposed. There's already people, they're saying that President Clinton was on this jetliner, the Lolita Express, it was called. But Prince Andrew is no stranger to allegations like this, and he is just ride or die Epstein. They told him, the people in the royal family, or the people that does press for them, you need to cut ties with Epstein. This does not look good for you. This does not look good for the family. And he said, and I quote, "Jeffrey is my friend. You don't turn your back on friends." So Prince Andrew is ride or die Epstein. So I wanted to talk also about one of the girls, and this is the girl that claims that Epstein had her have sex with Prince Andrew. So she's one of the victims, and she talks a lot about how she felt being in this situation. And she said that you refuse to feel, and you refuse to speak, and you just become this numb person, because at that point you're so psychologically and spiritually worn down that you just accept this as your role. And I talk about this a lot in my videos. I'm going to link that video down below, the psychological effects of this job. But let's talk about the jetliner. The jetliner was called the Lolita Express. Never read the book, but I'm pretty sure it's about an older man that has relations with a younger woman. Nothing like just rubbing it in everybody's faces and putting it right out there for everybody. So this was used to transport these girls from the New York islands, or from New York to the islands. And all Epstein asked of these girls was obviously to have sex with his clients, but find more girls. And Virginia states that she feels badly for doing this for him. And that's really kind of the predicament that I'm in, because I did find these girls, I did train them, even though we aren't on a escorting level, it still kind of falls under the same wing. So I went out, I found these girls, I got them involved in this business, and I tried to explain to everybody how it works and what exactly it is, and nobody really cares about you. All they really care about is having control over you, even though they may come off as a friend. And I try to explain the dangers of it, but a lot of people just are so blinded by the money that they just completely look over the spiritual and psychological effects of it. So human trafficking and sex trafficking is huge in Florida. So Epstein, New York, and Florida, that seems to be the East Coast connection. So he had all these girls, and he even had a trainer for them. Her name was Ghislaine Maxwell. So she taught these girls how to use toys and how to perform sexual acts for the men. So he had women working with him to keep these girls under control. And what's disturbing about this to me is years after, okay, so Virginia kind of made her escape. She ended up meeting somebody, having children, I believe in Australia. She settled, and she just called him and told him, hey, that's it. Didn't tell him where she was or anything, but gets a phone call from Ghislaine in 2007 when everything is probably most likely going haywire, because he was charged in 2008, and Ghislaine is asking her, did she speak to anybody? And the FBI is calling her and all types of things. But it just proves that once you are in this business, they keep tabs on you. They know where you are in case something like this is to happen. They can keep you quiet, and they just basically keep tabs on everyone. And once you're in this, they'll swoop back around, to see, they'll have somebody check on you to see what you're doing and where you're at, like mentally and financially, and in hopes of sucking you back in to that life. So it doesn't matter, a lot of people think, oh, a woman, it's weird. These people are predators. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. They're very predatory people, and yes, some of them are women. So things are finally starting to come to the surface with this. Just because somebody is a doctor or a lawyer or somebody has a title and is a respected business person, does not mean that they are a good human being. Does not mean that they are not doing shady things like sexually abusing minors in private. I know women that are in this industry that are under such copious amounts of mind control that they are just so numb to the reality of what this really is. All they see is money. They're completely blinded by it. So they're so numb that they haven't even been able to focus on the effects that this has on them spiritually. So, and of course, we have all the distractions. They don't want us to look into a jetliner being flown with presidents and elected officials by a hedge fund manager to islands to have sex with girls. So they're throwing all these distractions at us, like Area 51, aliens, you have an alien twin. And even in my own life, personally, it was like a volcano erupted. Things from my past were coming back, all these things, and I kind of knew that something was about to happen, because why are all these things coming up, distracting me from what I'm really supposed to be doing? And sure enough, I knew something was going to happen. And sure enough, Epstein, sex trafficking charges, yada yada yada. So I'm very happy that this happened, because it kind of puts some support behind these videos that I'm making, these things that I'm saying. And whether it's high level or low level, human trafficking is a huge problem here in Florida. It is everywhere. Most people don't even have jobs because that's what they're doing. And in the United States as a whole, it's an issue, especially with minors. So I'll be talking more about this later in the week. And that's really all I have to say for today. So everybody take care, and God bless.